What it do, Moody?
What's up, brother?
Just chilling. You know, we started a little late, but we had to get our pregame in. Just listening to some music, and we just caught on a Migos vibe and just giving them their fucking respect.
Yeah.
For being one of the best hip hop groups ever. One of the best groups ever, honestly. They should be inducted into like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I know that's like, you know, music in general, even though it's called Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, the Migos, bro.
Yeah.
Shame that we will never get like, you know, all living members
Yeah.
participating. But man, like, shout out to Quavo and Takeoff. At least being together recently, as we saw in pictures.
Let's be accurate. I'm going to look up when did Takeoff pass. But yeah, you said keep going.
No, man, yeah, we were just starting late because we were just listening to some Migos, and
November 1st, 2022.
Crazy, man.
Okay, so yeah, 3.5 years later.
Yeah, that one of the best rappers, bro. Like that dude. Again, when we talk about rap and like the abilities of rapping, even like you might not like say like the substance of what he is saying, or the content of what he is saying might fit your ear, your liking, or your taste. Even though like, what's the difference between like trap south like Southern music versus trap New York music? Not trap, but you know, I mean like hustler, I guess, music in New York, or you know, like Benny the Butcher and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to that degree, but
sure,
you get what I'm saying. But no, Takeoff, crazy.
Yeah.
With the flow, mixing it with the bars, it's just like the Avalanche first bodied it.
Yeah, I was listening to Hotel Lobby. I mean, that's Unconfused. Like that's the very last project that we actually get of Take. You know, it's Takeoff and Quavo. I guess,
yeah.
Whatever the fracturing was back then, but we're back to at least dapping each other up.
But I did want to talk about the biggest music news of this week. Have you listened to any of the new Drake, Iceman?
Yeah. By osmosis, I've had to.
Or any of the other projects.
Yeah, everybody's been
surprised 3 albums. Iceman.
Or surprised 2,
2 other albums.
Yeah.
And you know, theorizing obviously it could be he's just trying to get out of a deal that would like re-up at a higher cost. I don't know.
Hell yeah. I mean that would be boss moves if he's doing that. It's like because everybody's expecting one. And I mean, if anything, that is regardless of who it is, I think that's a boss move. And like I can say that the rollout, the press behind Drake has been like, or the coverage of this whole thing has been amazing. Like the whole Iceman block shit. That
was cool. Yeah. But I think the build-up was more interesting than the album because
I mean, people are still dissecting.
I got home on like Thursday night, and the internet was out in my area. And
I listened to the song that was the bar about LeBron.
Well, I'm explaining mine because I told you a couple weeks ago I wasn't gonna listen to this album, but I was put in a situation where like this is the only thing that I was like that was like kind of like TV where I could just kind of watch aimlessly.
Yeah.
Internet was out of my area, but I was able to connect to the Xfinity hotspot, Twitch stream Fantano going through the album on a live stream. So listen to that. So it's like, you know, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So like, but I think I listened to it again yesterday through another Twitch streamer and same feelings. And I think the best way I could say it, and this is being objective because you know I'm not a Drake fan, just Iceman alone, forgettable. Like I've never been so tired. Like physically tired and like wanting to go to sleep. And I'm saying this objectively because it's kind of like, it's funny because like I think about like artists like Key Glock or like Lucky or some of these rappers like Primo Rice that are kind of monotonous. Even like Benny, right? Monotonous, like kind of same flows, same content, but for some reason I'm able to enjoy them. But with Drake, I'm like, I don't know if I was to be, because this is my first Drake album, probably in full front to back.
Oh, you listened to it already?
Yeah, basically through the stream. I've listened to the album twice.
Oh, okay.
And I've listened to the one with the maid one with the cover of his mom on there. I listened to that once, pretty much full through. But Iceman first.
Maid of Honor, and Habidi, because that's what I did. Iceman is the rap album. Maid of Honor is the house album, and Habidi is the R&B album.
If you could say that Iceman is the R&B, I think that's
Iceman is rap. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, rap, R&B, and house. That's what he did.
Yeah.
I was just put it. That's how it's categorized. It is categorized.
Okay.
I looked at
either way, Iceman, like it was just so long, and
How
then
long is
like 18 tracks, so long, and it's. And I don't know. Like, I guess my question is, I'm like, if like again being objective, like, why can I enjoy Drake the way? If I have the same issues that I would have with these other rappers that I enjoy, even Dolph, like same shit. Don't miss. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't know what I'm missing with Drake, where I'm like, I can't.
What part of the formula? Yeah,
that like I can admit that he makes like classic pop songs, not pop songs, but like just classic hits. He's a hit maker.
Yeah.
There's a
by
reason
definition
why
that would be pop, like popular. That's what it means.
But there's a reason. Like, I don't want to take away his hip hop credibility because he does mean something to hip hop. And like when you look back on the history of hip hop, like you have to talk about Drake.
Yeah.
Beyond Kendrick beef or anything, just as someone that was doing the art of rap, even though we might not like it, he still did it.
Yeah.
He did it at a really quality level for a pop artist.
Yeah.
To say, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm missing with. I think the best way that was ever explained to it, and I think I agree. Listening to this is my first front to back Drake album, probably. So it's like So Far Gone or Take Care. I don't listen to Drake albums because you can hear osmosis. It's Yasin Bey. Most Def said it perfectly. It's shopping music. Like when I'm able to tune out and just hear the production, production's great on it. He got some great production. I would have to give it a B. Just because it's 18 tracks and some of them just don't like. There's just some you don't need to be 18 tracks. You take away 3 or 4 of those tracks, that's a B plus on production, maybe even A.
My
but
thought process
the fact that
also,
you weight it so much down, it's just like it's monotonous. There's so many beat switches. Like I don't know if that's like a TikTok brain where like
you're trying to get 2 songs.
And then also,
one,
like, that's the other thing.
like
Drake is like, when I have to listen to it and I'm hearing the content of it, I'm like, bro, you're 40 and you sound like you're rapping like a 25-year-old. And it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there's plenty of rappers that do that talk about young nigga shit. Like, I mean, Drake is at his best, I think, when he's on
There's so many eye-rolling, like, lines.
Yeah, just in his rap,
song,
I think.
And it's just like, and then when he's talking about his life in the last 2 years, it's a lot of.
Then he talked about his dad has cancer or something, right?
Yeah, but his dad is in remission. He's been in remission for like the last 3 months.
So,
like, I'm just saying that's.
I would say that sounded like you took away from his dad had cancer, like just because he's in remission. So I mean,
I'm saying like Drake made it sound like he's actively in cancer.
Bro, that's having cancer, right? We're gonna argue if it's.
I'm not gonna argue about it. I'm just saying, like,
either way, my point. The one thing I was trying to say.
But that's one line out of how many lines of just him just.
I'm not gonna
kind of making like lines where you can like, nigga, we lived this life and we saw what happened.
I want to ask you something because you obviously did listen to it on stream with like Fantano or whoever else that was reviewing it. Obviously, there were like cuts in it where they were like stopping and talking. Like how much of it? I just wanted to ask how much of it was like. Did you run through with it song by song, and then it's like, oh, okay.
They went
because when you were talking
they did
about
a good job of not trying to pause it, but there were just points where you had to pause it just to make a call out, a contradiction.
Yeah, because of when you talk about the production that being the best quality, I was gonna say other music. I was trying to transition. There's been a lot of great music that's came out. Mm-hmm. Chris Brown's album, I don't give a fuck with Pitchfork. I know that, or whoever else says.
Fantano also.
I don't give a fuck about what Fantano say.
Yeah.
He gave the Clips album a fucking 8 when that's a 10. Like, so he talked about Polo G's album made him cry and he gave it an 8. Like, I don't care. So I like it. Like, he's great with his breakdown.
He's objective. That's what I'm saying. He's objective.
Sure, with his opinion. Yeah,
more objective than Pitchfork.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he has a great, obviously way more music knowledge than I got. Yeah. So I like to hear him talk about it, but hey, my ears are my ears. But I'm gonna say Chris Brown's album, fucking amazing. We got Kehlani's album came out, self-titled, they folded on it. So you already know that goddamn R&B Grammy Song of the Year. Action Bronson, if you like that little boom bap, underground shit,
Bronson.
Planet Frog came out, and I love that single. It's called Triceratops, Yachty, and Paul Wall. We heard that last week. And I was like, Paul Wall sliding on this shit.
Paul Wall still be doing it. He can still bar.
I'm saying, I'm like, Paul Wall was sliding on that shit. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling that Houston shit. So Yeah, Drake is the big one, but I want to say a bunch of great music.
We'll talk more about Drake later. We'll talk more about the Drake album Mouth Pop, but let's get into this show.
Yeah.
Doors opening. Step back to allow customers to exit.
Cutting through the crowd is the Habasha Hayes, Samson. You're my tag team partner.
French Fried Fro, Moody, coming off the top rope. And this is the Wrestling Re-Up Podcast.
A weekly stroll through the avenue of wrestling.
Follow us here on this YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Everything at the Wrestling Re-Up.
Episode 97 of the Wrestling Re-Up Podcast. Who's in 97 off the top of your head?
Ooh, there should be one. I know.
It's defensive ends. Like,
Where about Aiden Hutchinson?
Is he 97?
I think so.
I don't know. Do a quick Google search.
That's what I'm doing right
episode
now.
97. We're on the road to both Clash in Italy
Yeah,
and Double or Nothing.
Connor McDavid is the biggest one.
Okay.
So you got hockey. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
He will be. Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah. Or no, it says no, year 97. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
That's why that was the first thing that came up. Yeah.
But yeah, on the road to Double or Nothing and Clash in Italy. Are they both happening the same weekend? Is it?
I mean,
Clash in Italy is next week. And
yeah. So yeah,
Double or
their
Nothing is
kind of
also
programming.
next week.
Yep.
So that's why, against how much I ever complain about AEW having these Sunday pay-per-views, this is why you do it, because WWE's like, no, we're going to counter-program you, and you're going to have to go against our B-tier, C-tier pay-per-view is going to have to go against your main show, Double or Nothing, and watch us fucking still out.
And I was right.
Data you.
Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Bosa. There we
Yeah,
go. I was right.
Either way, on the road to the pay-per-views, the pop-up shows in the next week. But we have a recap of our first points that were on the line.
Yep.
For the season 3. You won because I stupidly decided to pick against Danhausen.
Yeah, we were
just throwing
talking
myself
about
in a hole to start the season when I'm like, bro, I could have just took the tie.
Yeah, it's fine. You were feeling the mojo of the whole season. You were like, hey, I cracked.
That's gambling. This is gambling right now. What I just did, because I could have just played it safe, but no, I had to be like, no, I'm sitting on 17, and I'm like, no, I can get the fucking 4.
Yeah. And really, I think I would believe so, even with picking Seth, because I brought up the Vision. I didn't say that. I mean, Braun is still part of the Vision where Seth is fighting them, and we did bring up them possibly interfering, but not causing, the W for Braun, but that's exactly what happened. So, but like I said, we thought that was basically a neutral site, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because they're both returning from injury.
Trick and Sammy had a fun match, but obviously Trick was not going to lose his title.
No.
Io and Asuka put on an all-time banger, which, as many have possibly we've seen confirmed on Raw, Asuka's last match in the WWE.
I'm heartbroken. She was so.
Because we asked this question last week, like, what do you do with Asuka after this? Like, if she wins, because we had no idea she was leaving. So we're projecting, even like whether she comes in a win or a loss, we were just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, like, she needs to go.
Because I still was like, I picked Asuka here because just my heart wants Asuka to stay. And I'm like, not to say I had no idea she was about to, leave also. But I guess, it should have been on our mind with not everybody.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people heading out the door with asking to be like restructured, like with contracts with like the New Day and things like that. So, I guess not surprising in the TKO era, but like the fact that all right, I'm not gonna say goes out like this because it was match of the night and it's Io Sky, and this is also like you said, an all-timer. So as good as you can go out without ever winning at Mania was fucking bullshit. Like, oh my god,
she's gonna come back and win.
That's such Mania. Bullshit. Like,
I think her last match is gonna be at Mania. Wow, like she's gonna come back and win it. She's gonna get that AJ Lee bump. Like I think she's half.
That's the IC title.
They say half retired. They said that she's half retired. Where I'm like,
this is a crime. It's a crime what WWE did to Asuka. I don't give a fuck.
I don't disagree.
It's a crime.
I don't disagree.
Her career has been doing nothing but being the table that the other 4 horsewomen would stand on, which all of their best matches are with them. The biggest point of Charlotte's whole career is beating Asuka's undefeated streak, which is bullshit in the fucking first place. That oh my god.
You're talking to a mirror.
Oh
bro.
my god.
I got nothing to say. I agree.
Oh my god, yo. Like,
but
rest in peace, Asuka. In the kayfabe sense, like I love Yukana so much. I watch Yukana on TV.
Well, I think her contract is still. I think like it's just like I'm about to just convert. I don't know if it's convert, but basically,
she'll go to New
like,
Japan. Why
no, I'm just saying like maybe she. So that's what I'm saying. Is she converting into basically like a Brock Lesnar contract?
I mean, sure, I would love it. I would love it if that was the case, but I don't think
if leaning into like the half retired.
Who's
like,
sure? I mean, who's
so like she's still contract with WWE. It's just like now it's just like, yo, you don't need to be on TV every week. We can bring you back as a Brock Lesnar.
I hear you. So with that being said,
just even schedule wise, not as dominant.
Yeah.
But again, facing Asuka as like a prize WrestleMania opponent, it's like that's no easy task. You definitely could lose that shit.
Mm-hmm. My thought process is like, okay, sure, I hear you, but it's like with the women's division, who is the most prominent legend we've had return and like win something, right? And I would say probably supposed to be Nikki Bella, right? I would say Nikki Bella is probably the most prominent, like wrestling, half retired, has come back twice. Well, she got injured, but I'm saying she was going to win the tag team titles with her sister, obviously.
Yeah, but she ain't win the World Women's Heavyweight or anything.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point.
So it's
that's
AJ Lee.
AJ, okay, so AJ, we just got her winning the IC title also.
Yeah.
So not winning the top title in this case. So even with that both being said, we're putting Asuka at a higher legend status than both Nikki and AJ at this point, which I would agree with, but we got to see if TKO treats her like that. Because yes, she deserves a WrestleMania title win. It's bullshit. She's 0-6 in Mania in solo matches. It's insane, but whatever. It's not whatever because it's a crime. I'll die on that shield forever. Yeah. And then the obvious thing, Roman retaining in a great match with Jacob.
Clean too.
Yeah.
Like no real interference from the Usos, and so obviously we knew this was going to be the outcome because the story is just beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about it when we get to Raw.
Yeah.
And see the repercussions of Roman trying to get Jacob to acknowledge him.
Yeah, I will say, like, I still watch the Wrestle Talk guys, and something I agreed with, I think it was not Ali, but I forget the bald head one that's on there. But
Simon?
No, not Simon. But either way, it's just the thought of like they put over the Tongan death grip so much,
mm-hmm.
like how it's used for a last resort in the 2 weeks like prior to this match, and it's like watching him just spam it over and over. It just takes away from the last resort of it. I feel like because that's it should be a finisher.
But that's you believing in someone else's.
No. I didn't say I agree. I didn't say I believe in that. I'm saying I agree with them. I believe that myself.
Yeah, but
that's all.
Okay.
I was just bringing it up.
I get it. Again, I think it's just the fact that like Roman is also like Thanos.
Sure.
And this situation is like, yeah, I'm not doing this on Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah, because I
can take them out easily. But if I'm going against a tribal chief, I gotta pull the big dog. I gotta spam my finisher.
Sure.
I gotta build that up and then spam the finisher. Now the fact that you may be arguing he hasn't been doing the things to build it up. Unless you're saying that like not taking out Jimmy and Jay.
No, I'm just saying in the sense
two Tongan death grips in your pocket by the time he gets to the ring.
Well, I'm just saying because like I said, the first time we saw it, he put Roman down. Like that's why I was like, whoa, what the hell? Like, and I guess all right, now I can jump over this hurdle. I'm thinking now that Roman knows he's doing that, because the first time it caught Roman by surprise.
Yeah.
I guess, and that's why he went down. But ever since then, he's been like headbutting him back and stuff. So like fighting out of it. So I guess that makes more sense. But Yeah, I just talked my way through it then. He's just like,
I'm not trying to
gotten used to it.
I get it. Like, if it's something you don't agree, I'm just like.
It's just like, because I get it, because it's like with, Seth and Brock, like, he just kept doing like the stomp over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, and then like the worst case scenario of this is like when we saw the Fiend and Seth, you know what I'm saying? But it's not to that level, but just in the fact that I'm like, y'all built it up so much. I feel like maybe 2 or 3 of these, I shouldn't see like 7. Like, that's all I'm saying.
I get you. Like,
Give me 3.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Like, I understand. Like,
that's all.
Like, it should have, it's like running the Hell in a Cell on a yearly basis. It's like you kind of take the allure of the move.
You gotta say, like, you just gave it to me, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
It's supposed to feel desperation.
Yeah.
And it's like, you should be able to hit your entire moveset without that move until like the very last moments of the match. Because you're just like, fuck it. Like, I need it. Yeah. So it's like,
listen, I'm with even going for it, like I said, like 3 times, because it's like I said, he's been fighting out of it and all this type of shit. But like, I should be able to believe that Roman's gonna pass out in the last one. But when you're on 6 and 7, like, I don't believe it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And granted, we didn't think he was gonna lose anyway, but it's just the booking of the match. That's all. Anyway, that's Backlash review.
Starting the season 0-1.
Yeah, it's fine. You got plenty. Like 30. We got like 30 pay-per-view. Yeah, we counted it out before. It's like 27.
We got 2 points on the line next week. So
yeah, it ain't nothing.
But let's get to the Raw flagship, and I guess we could talk about what happened on Raw with Jacob and Roman, and just how again Roman tries to get Jacob to acknowledge him. Jay tries to stop him backstage, and Gorilla beats his ass. Jimmy's in the ramp.
On the ramp,
beats his ass, starts brawling with Roman, takes him out, and Jimmy and Jay go to help Roman. He runs around the ring, runs through him through the barricade, ends the show. Yeah, destroys him. No acknowledgement.
Continued recklessness. So yeah, I mean, still off the leash with it, as he says. So I'm not tired of this yet, I'll say for sure. How long do you think it takes him? Does he just get another title shot? Or,
I mean, it's gotta be, I guess,
or Saturday Night's main event, something?
No, they're not gonna.
Yeah, they're not gonna Roman on that
because I think it has to be like the same match he had with Jay, right? Hell in a Cell match.
I think it was Tribal Combat. I don't think that was Hell in a Cell.
No, the one that he had with Jay.
He had a Hell in a Cell with Jay?
That's what Jimmy came in and threw in the white flag.
That was Tribal Combat. When he had the white leg on? I'll look it up. Go ahead. Continue. Either way, your point.
He had a Hell in a Cell match with Jay where Jimmy threw in the flag. I feel like that was a Hell in a Cell match. And...
oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I quit match. Pay-per-view. Yep, okay.
In a Hell in a Cell?
I quit Hell in a Cell, yeah. I don't know why it says I quit inside Hell in a Cell. Okay, sure.
Okay, so yeah. Somewhat the equivalent, but I think a Hell in a Cell is
okay. It says it was the first ever Hell in a Cell I quit. So there you go. All right.
I feel like a similar stipulation will occur. A Hell in a Cell is going to be involved, I believe.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think you get that.
Can Roman get busted open? Have we seen Roman busted open before? We definitely haven't seen Crimson Mask Roman.
No, but you're not going to get that.
That's WWE. That's all right. Come on, Roman, you can do it.
Roman busted, maybe bleeding from the mouth, but I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see. Give me Rock and Stone Cold. We're not getting that again, but like that was a way to put Jacob over because Roman still wins that.
Yeah,
but to have that spot of maybe it's because I looked it up real quick. Obviously, he beat Jay with a guillotine chokehold. He was doing that for a while, so maybe he brings that back and is able to choke him out in desperation, like his way, and he's covered in blood or something. Either way, but that'd be cool.
But yeah, I think this gets to a Hell in a Cell. Maybe I don't know. Do you do that in like King of the Ring?
Ooh, King of the Ring final and that. What's the
yeah?
Damn. Yeah, I don't think there's a spot for a Hell in a Cell match before SummerSlam because it feels like
it'd either be King of the Ring or SummerSlam.
Yeah,
because I don't think you're doing that at Money in the Bank. You're not doing that on a Saturday night's main event.
Clash in Italy, May 31st. Night of Champions, June 27th. SummerSlam, August 1st. Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
September 6th now.
Okay.
So yeah, we were thinking it was before, but it's after. So
yeah.
So actually, we only got Clash in Italy and Night of Champions, and then
There's nothing in July.
No, Night of Champions is June 27th.
Okay.
Because you're not doing that at like a Crown Jewel. You're not doing that Hell in a Cell.
I think Night of Champions is not in Saudi Arabia. I definitely do think.
Oh yeah, it is Riyadh. Yeah, Night of Champions.
They will do. They could do a Hell in a Cell match in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, yeah, they could. Obviously, they'll pay for
with stakes like that. I'm saying like they if you want WWE, if you want the people to take those pay-per-views,
you'll do that.
You're
gonna do that. Yeah,
and then you're pleasing the people that are funding you to come here as well. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. It's like so. Either way, I would put that as one of the primos of the show.
Oh yeah, I had that as a mid just because I had it as continued. It went the way I thought it would go.
Yeah,
with
obviously.
That,
But I mean,
done well. Very obviously done well.
Let's get to your primos.
And I will say last bit on that, just because that was the storyline, the backbone of the entire show. Getting Jacob to acknowledge him just from the beginning was dope. Like the aura that Roman has as he shows up. Where's Jacob at?
Yeah.
Why don't I have my title? Somebody get this man his title. It's like I like him. Like punking Alex Pierce or Alex, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting him confused with the Adam Pierce. I'm getting him confused with Alec Pierce, wide receiver. That's why I'm like, hold on. But yeah, I like that little spot. The best thing on the actual show for me was wrestling wise, EO and getting the win over Soul. I thought this was a great effective comeback spot for Soul because that Soul Snatcher, that debut did not go the way that we wanted to go last week, but this did everything to make up for it. And very similarly, I felt the same way about Javon and Rusev, even though I knew Rusev was gonna lose or Javon was gonna win. Before the match started, I didn't feel that way as it went, and I was like, I mean, we said before, it's Rusev should be able to hold the IC title, and I was just like, well, yeah, he's not going to win. I was like, a ladder match does not favor a big guy. But he should still – he's second in the rankings in my mind.
I don't believe so.
He should be. He should be.
No.
But we agreed with that originally.
You're an older vet, and you got a 21-year-old kid here with all the potential in the world.
Sure.
You're going to try to get the 21-year-old kid over.
Obviously. We agree with just the fact that he is a vet and that he is a monster or whatever.
Matt Cardona. But
he's not he's not a monster, though. He's not a monster. That's what I'm saying.
Matt Cardona should not be on this losing streak right now.
I agree, but those are two different characters. So that's I'm giving you Rusev, who Rusev is. He's a lot more able.
Just started doing shit because they put him on TV again.
I mean, yeah, we were saying where is he, but I mean that's upsetting. We both like Rusev, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
So that's all.
Like I said,
I agree. Obviously,
you're
pushing
IC champion, but that's just me and being a fan.
Yeah.
Do I realistically think WWE would do that from no,
obviously we
standpoint? No.
Yeah.
He's just there to put people over.
Yeah.
This is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, but I mean, we get great matches out of it. It was a primo.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Street Profits and Joe Hendry get the win over the Vision via Seth Rollins interference.
Yeah.
And I still like this content, Seth looking for allies. We get the spot backstage or the interview with the Street Profits backstage, and Seth is like, hey, I just wanted to talk about my interference. And Montez is like, man, fuck out of here, nigga. Basically, just that's what that translates to. You couldn't say that on WWE television, but he's like, hey, we don't need your help. Tag team titles are in a vacuum. We gonna beat their ass. Then ain't got shit to do with you. Basically, whatever issue you got, that's your issue. So, making that clear for us, where it was initially, when Seth made his return, or when they made their return, it was in a spot sort of looking like they were his backup, which I did say that was a weird thing, because I know we initially were I guess that's an interesting dynamic, but yeah, they're making it very clear that is not the case.
Yeah.
Unless that's the story, and then Montez got to come around and be like, all right, my nigga. I see you. I'm tired of getting speared.
He was sight when Dawkins got speared, and he assumed that set him up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, you're right. That is an important element.
yeah, are we gonna get Montez versus Seth Rollins one-on-one rivalry?
No, no. We were just talking about Rusev. The Street Profits are 2-time tag team champions. They're not even New Day. Like,
if you're gonna try to put Montez over as a single star, now would be the time to do it, especially with all the good real life publicity.
Yeah.
Between him and Bianca.
And then
Obafemi squashes the Garças.
Yeah.
Some people thought this was them writing themselves off the television
Mm-hmm.
and leaving the company, but that's been confirmed that's not going to happen. But
yeah,
Garza got whooped on because nobody wanted to challenge Obafemi.
he found his own competition.
Yeah. Just so happened to be standing in Gorilla for whatever reason. But threw him out there and just whipped him up.
And I like how, I mean, they just let us know that they exist in Raw Universe because we get a little bumper with them backstage, just seeing them arrive. And it's like, okay, cool, Garza's are here. It's like, okay, this is why they're here to get their asses beat. So, yeah, what you standing in Gorilla for, dog? But yeah, the shakes I had, Asuka saying goodbye, or Kana-chan, or Asuka-chan, no face paint, and out of character. Saying how she's gonna miss Io and all this stuff, and I'm sad. Yeah. We got the first ever AAA Mega Championship defense on WWE television.
Yeah, it's a good match. Obviously, Chad Gable, Dominic.
El Original.
Yes, but,
Yeah.
Breaking kayfabe. But again, predictable just for the fact, it's all going to come down to this mass match. So, I guess it would be interesting to see if actually, thinking about it now, because I'm like, it's predictable Dominic was going to retain, but I'm like, man, if you really wanted to ante up the stakes for that mass versus mass match and have El Original win the AAA championship. Have him win this match.
Chad Gable?
Yeah. Imagine him winning this match, and then now you got to add the title in that mass versus mass match.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you. Yeah. That'd be fucking nuts.
That'd be crazy.
Because he'd be winning, he'd be unmasking and winning the title at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, I get you. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
No, that'd be insane. Yeah.
So I guess I would actually put that at mid.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that I'm thinking through that now and again, I'm like, there is a bit of unpredictability.
I think it's still possibly.
I felt like the current El Grande Ludwig Kaiser would come out and interfere. I guess that was what my predictability was. But I'm like, bro, let him win the match.
Yeah. I guess, no, that's interesting. If anything, he's got to be I'm going to say, Dominic is probably still the biggest star, but he's at least the second biggest.
Again, so can imagine
Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
Even winning just right now in kayfabe, winning the mass versus mass match, I would imagine puts him in. He's got to be number one contender. Because Dominic has already beat El Vikingo, and he's retained against it's not El Hijo, but somebody else, another big star from AAA. He retained against. So I'm like, I would imagine that's the next big at Triple Mania. That's the match. That's the matches. Ludwig Kaiser, El Grande versus Dominic, versus Dominic. And now, win. I'd have him win it. Maybe you're slotting Dominic up, But either way.
Last thing on the show.
Yeah, what I got down there?
Judgment Day ladies.
Yeah.
Beat down Paige and Brie.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be holding those titles anyway.
Who?
Paige and Brie.
It was going to be Brie and Nikki.
Yeah, it should be them.
They were going to win regardless.
I agree. That would make, and also
I think this shows that Brie is going to be Nikki is going to be back soon, and we're going to have a 3-on-3 match between the Judgment Day ladies and the Bellas and Paige.
Yeah, whenever they do win, that will make Raquel the all-time tag team champion because she's a 4-time, and she will be the first ever 5-time.
I feel like in that match, the Bellas would turn on Paige.
Saying, "Fuck this bitch."
Yeah. Because like Nikki's mostly tight, but like she's gonna back up her sister.
Yeah, true. She has to.
And so they're just gonna jump Paige as soon as like the match begins and like turn on her.
Interesting,
and just like let the Judgment Day girls just get the titles or whatever and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that wouldn't be a title match, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thinking out loud.
Yeah, I was just throwing it out there. Just interesting fact.
Yeah,
because her and Liv are right now both 4-time. So.
But again, I still believe Raquel's going to turn on Liv.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're getting Roxy at the forefront.
But that's what they want you to think.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. So.
Got to use your third eye.
Yeah, Wrestling Illuminati.
Yeah. That's a good podcast name.
There you go.
Let's go over to Bodega, NXT.
Yeah.
Pretty decent week.
Yeah, we're working off of the Bleacher Report right now.
Yeah, neither. I've watched the bit of.
I wasn't able to watch the show this week, so I watched Naruko's debut, or debut match, which we knew obviously that was gonna win. Squash, exactly. And I saw the segment with Dark State because I love Saquon. I like that dynamic. That's my favorite thing happening on NXT right now because we are, as we've been saying, in the dark days of WWE and like reshuffling and all this type of stuff. So right now, those are the only two things that have my attention on NXT. And then everybody's favorite new finisher, which is Thunderstruck from Lizzie Rain. I knew that. I didn't watch the match, but I know that.
I think I saw this match, and this one was I wouldn't say really good, but it was entertaining. Mm-hmm. And again, I not saying like I think she's gonna be like an Intercontinental Champion or national. Maybe she might win the North American in NXT, but I think she's more of like a Chelsea Green kind of type in the long term. Mm-hmm. But Nikita Lyons has been impressing me as far as just like her refresh, and it seems like again she's taking them up more seriously. And again, she's putting over Lizzie Rain because she's done her finisher with her 2 times in 2 weeks. So it's like, okay, Lizzie feels comfortable
with her,
giving her the leverage to make the move look good, right? So, shout out to Nikita. She wasn't written in the article on Bleacher Report, but I remember watching. I'm like, And again, the character is funny to me. Like, Nikita Multimedia and her just being like a B-list, like celebrity, but just thinking she's an A-lister. It's like, okay, I get it. It's funny. But no, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said before, Naruko, or Naraku, I thought that was a U right there.
I think it's still being debated between the announcers.
Yeah, they are.
Say his name.
Yeah, defeated Lince Dorado. We have right now. Well, my favorite faction, or the best faction, and the mid card, or I guess they would be top of the card. It's hard. I don't know where Birthright is. I feel like they're a mid card faction on NXT. Yeah. They should be top of the card.
I mean, they're just starting to, build something. I think it's a little too quick to say like they've established themselves. Like,
I know they haven't established themselves. I'm saying
the only person who has a title is, it's a speed champion.
No, I absolutely agree. But I'm saying they should be establishing themselves, like in the same way that we have Trick is in the mid card, but Oba is in the top of the card on Raw. They just put him there. With the fact that you have this, I think it's an interesting dynamic. We know it's like Legacy 2.0. I say Birthright is even a better name. I think you got a better chance, and it's bigger. So, we should be able to feel them. I mean, I say that with a lot of factions, especially like the more moving parts you have. You got the tag teams over here. You got your women's champion over here. You got your North American type guy here, and then we should be everywhere. But like I said, we are in reshuffling. I think it's just because maybe that's just the fan in me. That's why I'll give it to that.
Yeah. Mason Rhodes signs his contract. Typical.
Yeah. They gave it a D. Did you see that? What happened? Was it just like poor mic work or?
Yeah, just it's just contract signing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nothing to write home about.
Jackson Drake versus Noam Dar returning.
Yeah. That's big news. Noam Dar
came back last week, I believe.
Oh yeah.
We didn't talk about it, but I believe he was backstage last week.
He's lonely as fuck. The Metaphor, and he's the only one from the original Metaphor. They've either moved on or switched companies on him. But yeah, he's back.
the top match of the night, Lonnie Jordan versus Kendall Gray.
Yeah, apparently I got to go back and watch this.
Lonnie Jordan going out on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With an A. They give it an A grade. So
atypical.
Yeah, no disrespect to NXT, but we are in the dark days.
But again, we're in the dark days of wrestling in general, and then I've said this before, it's entertainment. The other entertainment that I enjoy, that I frequent a lot, is movies. Mm-hmm. Getting a lot of great movies this week, in theaters. And so I'm like, hey, I'm more inclined to just keep up with my movies, and with wrestling, I could just casually kind of keep up with it. But again, that's how you're fighting for people's attention in a very fragmented society, So, anything else?
No, that's it.
So it's a coffee shop, Dynamite. Mm-hmm. I did watch some of these highlights, and I really enjoyed. Obviously, I think the star of this week is Darby Allin and his continued defense. 5 championship defenses in 21 days or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Against
Takeshita. Yeah. Awesome match.
Yeah.
Just getting, like usual, being an underdog 165-pound champion is not a good thing. So, Takeshita, giving him, every alpha shot he's given him is just, you're just he's killing Darby, And Darby's an amazing route, looking like he's dead every time.
But I also do think, his matches over the few weeks have shown his ability, just as, easy to know him for just the risk taking that he does, but it's no, this dude can actually boogie in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. He actually is a great wrestler.
So it's the 4 weeks or 3 weeks that he's been champion and having these defenses has been great. But you asked us when we were at Dynamite when they were here a couple weeks ago about who's going to be dethroning Darby for the championship, and I was like, I think MJF is going to win like that.
Yeah.
And I do think this confirms that MJF is going to win the title next week. But I do think I will also say this is one of the best builds of a short-term champion.
Yeah.
I think probably ever, because again, each week you're giving him a diverse challenge to face off. It's almost like an open challenge, but it's just he's just the fighting champion. It's not necessarily an open challenge. It's just yo, come get some. If you think you could beat me, try to beat me.
Yeah. And
so you're going to get Takeshita. You're going to get
Kevin Knight.
You're going to get Brody King. You're going to get
Tommaso Ciampa.
And that's, there are different wrestlers with different styles, and you got to find a way. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
But you've done it in 5 weeks to make me believe that, even if he was to lose, which I think he's going to lose next week, to MJF, you've done a great job of making me believe that he could be a long-term champion.
Yeah, I think it's so, pretty obvious, but yeah, I just agree with you. It was my favorite thing on the show because the backbone being, I put this as MJF fears baldness. Because the start of the show, we get MJF arriving to the arena and being quickly interviewed, Darby has his match against Takeshita tonight, but if he wins, you gotta sign that contract. That's the only way. And and as he's walking through backstage, it's just they clearly got every single bald guy in AEW to stand there. That was so funny, and it's just everywhere he looks, it's Ricochet, and it's Christopher Daniels over there, just everyone bald is just Ciampa, and Ricochet is finally hey, don't worry about it, man. You're just not gonna look as good as me. So, and him being desperate, halfway through the night, finding who's the manager? Takeshi's man, I'm forgetting. Don Callis. Yeah, Callis, and being yo, you gotta make sure Takeshita wins, man. You gotta make sure. And so we're having that hair versus title match.
Yeah, so that's next week. And again, I think great reign.
Yeah,
great short reign. One of the best short reigns champions.
Yeah, because you're right. Just when you think about, WWE is world wrestling. So when you think about those in between, like you said, short-term booking champions, they always feel like that. They've never been it's always just oh, I'm the champion. They have their celebration, and then they just hold the title until that next pay-per-view, and then that's it. Or that 2 months. That's all it was.
You might have 2
when we were growing up, it was very rapid. It
Yeah.
could be like 3 weeks, you know, or a month. And that nowadays, that short reign champion is like 2 months, 6 weeks, probably at the very
But again,
shortest.
also like the quality of matches that he's been putting on in the day.
To add on to that, because those champions when it was quick reigns, they wouldn't be having that.
It's a short reign, but you'll always remember Darby winning the championship.
Exactly.
And just not being a 2-week champion. He's like, nah, even if he held it for 5 weeks.
It was a great reign.
It was a great reign because look at the challenges that he went through.
Mm-hmm.
And MJF had to do something sleazy to save him ass because he was really desperate because he definitely don't want to be bald.
I was like,
He's going to find a way to win that match.
If what percentage would you give it like that he goes bald? Because I'm at like 10%. Because like I said, it's effectively like a guarantee that he's going to win. But even still,
I would say 10%.
So betting odds, right? I put 100 on that and I win 1,000. I'm like, that moment of MJF sitting in a chair getting his head shaved is gonna be that would be top shelf, bro.
Yeah.
Like I think because the character work of MJF, you know, is gonna be amazing. So, but yeah, also, yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah, the character work. I don't think
we
the
have
character.
1 more week. So we have one more Dynamite at least, and possibly Collision.
The character of MJF
to see if our opinions might sway to give high percentage chance.
Yeah, true. But the character of MJF would not sit there. He's too proud to sit there.
You're gonna strap him down
and get his. Okay, well, yeah, you're gonna have to do that then. So yeah, maybe Darby gets like the conglomeration or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just friends. So like, he gets a conglomeration to like hold him down.
I think he runs away.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to sit there for it.
You're
going to need somebody to stop him.
Double or Nothing, and they're going to do it on Dynamite.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Maybe they do that. Okay.
You got to get the ratings for that. People want to see that.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. That would be one of the highest rated.
That's something you give out for free.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. That'd be one of the highest rated segments of Dynamite. Yeah. The other primo I had, the other best. Actually, the best storyline in AEW is the Winter Soldier Will Ospreay. Yeah. And the continued promos, like we get to see more of the coaching from Mox and stuff, and like him challenging him last week to basically, he's like, you're still a high flyer, you still got all that stuff in you, but you just need to learn how to harness it and all that type of stuff. And not Moxley, but Ospreay also, after the workout session, saying he apparently feels his neck feels the best it's felt in forever. Granted, every basketball player is like, oh, this is the best I felt in my career. So, but I think it's just because it's Ospreay and you're always doing this that I'm like, I don't know how much I believe Ospreay the character. I feel like that's what he's doing. It's like oh yeah, I feel great. Like
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It's like every time he was taking a German suplex from Brock Lesnar and laying it on the back of his fucking neck, and you're like, yo, I'll put him. Relax.
I'll put him. He's one step below Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan actually did have a legit neck injury.
Yeah.
Where I think Will Ospreay did. He didn't have like no vertebrae fucking fusion surgery or nothing. So. But the way he complains about it, like Daniel Bryan on that level. But either way, Ace Austin, who they continue to feature.
Like I said, impressed me when we saw him in Dynamite a couple weeks ago locally.
Love that handstand spot he always does.
Yeah. Hey, Okada had to give him the time, right?
Yeah. But it clearly is just like a setup for a failure because he got like kicked from underneath him for the spot. But yeah, he kept on targeting his arm, and we get a cross arm breaker as a new signature, or at least a submission finish that we usually don't get from.
You're learning from your
Ospreay. Yeah,
you're learning from your peers.
Exactly. So those are the primos, and for the mids,
the Ops came out afterwards.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, that's important. So. Yeah,
confronted Will Ospreay. I forget what they were talking about.
I know. I was like, was he just bitching him out or something? Was he just like, you a bitch, I should beat your ass or something?
I forget. I would have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, the Death Riders came for backup.
Yeah.
So, building up Ops versus Death Riders.
Yeah, suppose so.
The fight for Will Ospreay, the Winter Soldier. Dumped him.
Yeah, the mids that I got. Kevin Knight retaining his TNT championship against the returning Brian Cage, who is somehow bigger than before. I looked him up and 42, just a tank of a man. How tall is he?
5'9"?
Nah, 6 feet. He's 6
Okay.
feet tall. But that's what he's so fucking gigantic that it's like, yeah, he looks like Doug Martin, like the muscle hamster from Tampa Bay. He's like, wasn't Doug Martin like 5'7" or some shit, or like 5'8"? Yeah, like a Maurice Jones-Drew type. Like, what the fuck, little Hercules? But yeah, that's enough muscle mass and a return enough for me to be like, is he about to win this? Like, but yeah, Kevin Knight
working out with Pac.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, Pac is a giant for his small ass too, but
it doesn't make sense.
No,
there's got to be on roids.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
That's all natural, but like that looks way too big.
Yeah. The other mids I had, we got the continued like turning of Sheeta, who the Brawling Birds. Oh, did I write this in backwards? Oh no, it was DQ. Yeah, the Brawling Birds and Sheeta did win because Sheeta left. She just left the Brawling Birds hanging, and Tekla said, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna hit you with my title."
Okay,
that's why they won. But yeah, it was
I
a DQ.
Match, I enjoyed it, but I didn't catch the ending.
Yeah, because they actually did wrestle the match, and then they just said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna beat you down." So, in a heel sense, that's still a win, kayfabe wise, even though it's a DQ. And yeah, she just still being a bitch to just everybody, because she's on her Shinsuke Wayward Samurai storyline.
You're more familiar with her, but you mentioned last week, and I feel like I heard this as well. It's like she's never been a heel.
Yeah.
And so, if you want to make somebody a believable heel, you're building it up.
Yeah.
We saw. I feel like the first night was when we saw it at Dynamite. And okay, because she suplexed Statlander into her opponent, and Stat was like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing?" Like, and so this is how you build it. And so when she does turn, it's gonna be like didn't come out of nowhere. You just have to read the tea leaves, the crumbs.
If you've been paying attention, you see it. Yeah. And then the last thing I got up here for Shake, we got our party match that we got. It was 6v6. We got Cope and Cage and the Young Bucks and Orange Cassidy getting the win over FTR, the Dogs, and Tommaso Ciampa. And that was our party match. So
that's a 5-on-5.
Or 5-on, yes, that's 6-on-6. Yeah, 5-on-5, yeah.
Yeah, fun show. Dynamite put on a great match. Best match of the week, I would say, on Darby and stuff. But let's head over to the gallery for the Book of Wrestling. Three on in the gallery. Which one you want to take?
I'm gonna take the oldest one. What year is this? And it's May. Yeah, exactly. May 13th, 2002. I remember watching this as a kid. But in 2002, Hulk Hogan retained the WWE Undisputed title against Ric Flair in a no disqualification match on WWE Raw in Toronto. This was surprisingly the only televised singles titles match that Hogan and Flair ever had in the WWE. The main event, yes, a title match between Hogan and Flair was not the final match on the TV card. Stone Cold defeated Booker T in a lumberjack match in the main event. Also on the card, Trish Stratus won the women's championship in a mixed tag team match when her and Bubba Ray Dudley defeated Stevie Richards and Jazz, with both the women's title and Dudley's hardcore title on the line. Mixed tag team titles on the line. Very interesting show, but Hulk Hogan was the champion in 2002. Defending against Ric Flair. There you go.
Politics. I'll take the middle one. May 15th, 2007. China and TNA? Question mark. At TNA Sacrifice from Orlando, Florida, Sting retained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Rob Van Dam. And in the main event, China and Kurt Angle were victorious over Jeff and Karen Jarrett. In China's one and only match in the promotion, Tommy Dreamer pinned AJ Styles. Oh, well, that was the Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett versus China.
And Kurt Angle
was China one and only. I
Yes.
read that as a run-on sentence.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Dreamer pinned AJ Styles in a number one no disqualification match, and Mickie James retained the TNA Knockout Championship in a title versus contract match against Madison Rayne. Yeah, it's funny. There's What Culture or whoever does like things you forgot or whatever,
top 10 whatever.
One night only of appearances, and China's on the cover of one of them, and I was like, I haven't watched it, but it was her in TNA. I'm like, yeah, didn't know that either.
Yeah,
but I've seen like the still image of her like cutting a promo backstage or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But crazy.
Yeah, mystery tag partner for Kurt Angle. The last in the gallery, Rockstar Spud calling his shot.
Okay.
Who we would know is in the WWE is Drake Maverick.
Okay.
Yeah, Rockstar Spud of TNA. May 10th, 2015, at TNA Impact Wrestling in Orlando, Rockstar Spud won a gauntlet match to win the X Division Championship. At the same taping, Spud cashed in and vacated the championship for a title shot against Kurt Angle's World Heavyweight title. He lost this match. So, yeah, gauntlet match for very Kofi-esque, but just within the night.
Yeah.
Unfortunate cash in when you just hear he's going up against Kurt Angle at TNA in that point in time. That's like, I think that's a perfect analogy of like Kofi Mania, but then instead of Daniel Bryan being the champion, that was Brock Lesnar. Like, that's effectively who Kurt Angle was at TNA. And it's like, dog. I like the ambition. Like, you're probably never going to get another title shot, so yeah, you cash it in, but
take it when you got a chance.
I guess so, but it's like, I mean, you were actually a champion. You could have like possibly held on to it for some time, but sorry. Yep. If you chase your dreams, it's better to, love and lost than to never loved at all, That's the Shakespeare phrase, so.
Let's head over to the last show of the week.
Yep.
Boutique SmackDown.
No, I completely slotted this wrong.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I assume these are primos.
Yeah.
I'm like, it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It's like, relax.
Dang, I put this shit in presidential. Fucking Royce Keys.
Primos.
Yeah. I liked Royce Keys. Yeah, I'm fucking moving him right now.
Yeah, calling his shot.
Yeah.
So Gunther, it was supposed to be a regular old contract signing. But Gunther was like, nah, I'm not ready to sign. And then Royce Keys randomly comes out and is like, you're not going to sign it. I'm going to sign it. And then I immediately was like, bro, Gunther's name is all over that contract.
But it's not.
But
we know in kayfabe there's nobody's name there. They're in kayfabe. We have seen that so many times. Like, I like it because we haven't seen that for a while. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's no legalities there. It's a blank. Yeah, that's what Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank is also blank. It's just the fact that it has we're supposed to believe that it's I think the Money in the Bank is what is it called? Like you have to get like an auditor, somebody to stamp it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Notarized. Yeah. It's notarized already. This one has to be signed. That's the kayfabe difference. Because you can just give the briefcase in, and we know the contract's in there.
Yeah, and this led to us getting a surprise one-on-one match between Royce Keys and Gunther to determine who is going to sign the contract to face Cody at Clash in Italy. Fun match. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed it. And then it ends with some solo. Royce Keys shoulder checks Gunther into the ref. Ref's knocked down for a bit, trying to gather himself. Solo tries to give Royce Keys
steel
chair. He's been recruiting him earlier in the night to join his family. I don't know if they're called his family.
MFT still, yeah.
But either way, trying to get him to join his faction.
And saying fuck Jacob too, because he was building that up last week about how they come from the same place and everything. They actually go back. So it's like fuck Jacob, join us.
And so he ends up throwing the chair at Solo, which gets Gunther to eventually hit a powerbomb on Royce Keys.
Yeah.
We get officially Cody, Gunther, Clash in Italy. But yeah, the fact that he took his chance and did something out of the norm, and it's like, okay, cool, like that's cool. And then we get a surprise match between Gunther and Royce, which I was like, okay, yeah, Gunther's winning this, right? But then I was like, well, I can see this ending in like a DQ, and you just end up a triple threat at Clash in Italy. But No, we didn't get that.
Yeah, but it's a way to feature like because when it comes to like guys,
real match, like you say too.
Yeah. When it comes to guys like, because I don't think he's. Do you think he? I don't know. LA Knight is so over. I'm trying to give a comp for like, because he's a very unique case of a older debut, right? Yeah. Like being like 41 plus, but being featured on SmackDown weekly, like he feels like, yeah, he's top of the card for weekly television.
For sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know what his ceiling is because I guess it's just U.S. title.
Big E.
He do that with, yeah, he can do that without a title. Yeah.
No, I guess that's what I'm just
trying. Like, I just want him to.
He could win the title as well.
He could, yeah. Well, you say the title. Which one?
Title on the show.
The WWE title?
If Roman got the other title, I guess you got not lower it down, but I guess kind of like match the equivalents. Like it can't just be like only two niggas can only ever challenge Cody. Like you got to be like, yo, somehow somebody else was able to take it off.
Yeah.
Again, like same thing with the AEW.
So
you gave it to Darby, and no one would have thought Darby would have won it.
That's a shot. That's calling a shot right there. That'd be insane.
But again, Powerhouse Royce Keys is not Darby Allin as far as like believability. I can believe he can win it even one time like Big E did. But
he's Money in the Bank. You're right. If he wins Money in the Bank, he could. That's true.
That could happen.
Yeah.
Ricky Saints gets the win over Carmelo Hayes.
Originally, I had this at mid because there was like clear miscommunication with them. Mm-hmm. Like chemistry was off during the match, but like with like, I guess what I would say with my fan shades on, like I know the intent of the match. I know what the spots are supposed to be. And also, I mean, they were not wrestling a simple match either. Like there was plenty of counters and like there were good like chain wrestling points and stuff where they were countering each other. It's just, there was like definitely like 2 or 3 spots when we tried to do like this. I come off the ropes and I do the arm, spin around you thing, and my head gets caught and like that shit, and it's like kind of tough. Like similar like what happened with Roman and CM Punk at like Mania. Mm-hmm. Like, but that like in wrestling, I can say, I mean, mistakes can add to the charm of it. You know what I'm saying? People aren't perfect. So very similarly, I mean, one of the best matches ever, fucking Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. There's so many there's so many like what we would call, I guess, a botch, But yeah, still a great match. I enjoyed this thoroughly.
Let's get to our mids. Wrap this show up. Trick Williams gets a hometown celebration.
I really didn't see. Did you catch like what everything that was happening in this though?
No, not really.
Exactly. They just made him feel like a big deal because they were back in Colombia. I'm sure but Sammy was. I did tie this into Sammy because I think like because Sammy was complaining because other wrestlers were out there like celebrating the Trick, and he's like, y'all are acting like he's like climbing this mountain and stuff, and then we get a segment with Sammy. Like just monologuing, like basically still hating. I don't know if you saw this, but he's backstage and the camera's just on Sammy, and he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Man, the guys like us, there's not too many guys like us. Like we started from the bottom. Like guys that love wrestling, indies. We're not just pushed and polished like all this type." And the camera is zooming out, and it's Johnny Gargano just still playing, just still depressed, like catatonic. And I like that, just him like monologuing the Johnny.
Hey, maybe he ends up with the birthright.
Who? Sammy?
Maybe he's the leader of the birthright.
Does he have wrestling blood?
It's in his blood naturally.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess kayfabe wise,
It's like he understands like their plight. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I just joined another faction. I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. Like him joining the bloodline, and then
the birthright.
Yeah, but his birthright,
and Charlexa versus Paige and Bree.
Oh yeah, gets interrupted. I was gonna put interrupted by the baddies.
Yeah.
Because once similarly, we get the match, but it's all about showing dominance. Really, this spot was really about Jade kicking Rhea in the face. So building us to our 3-on-3 match at Saturday night's main event. We know that we're getting. So the quote unquote not baddies still yet. We need a faction name. Just gonna say, because it does not make sense. We got this faction team up from Michin saying, "Bitch, you don't go here," to Rhea. Rhea goes here now because she's a champion, and y'all are still. But I guess we're just supposed to. This is a problem. This is a problem on your fans.
For them to defend her after they've been beefing for like 3-4 weeks.
True, but I was like, I'm with you if you give us this as your reason. But now that reason doesn't make sense. So, but
still, you just got here. Just because you go here now, don't mean you got like any cred.
Exactly.
You can't break your Raw cred. Your Raw cred doesn't transfer over to SmackDown. You got to start from scratch. So per se.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, and again, at some point we got to get Nikki back and get the 3 because again, you have 3 people on the baddies, 3 people with Charlexa and Rhea. You got Fatal Influence with 3 people.
Yeah. Well, I might need a faction title. You think we get faction titles? Not women's. We don't even have men's yet.
They just introduced the Women's Intercontinental and U.S. Championship. The last thing you got in Shake, who's Danhausen cloning?
No, I said, what is Danhausen doing in his lab, didn't I?
Doing in his lab? I thought he was cloning somebody. Or like,
is he? Well, he cloned himself for Backlash. So we know he has that ability, but I know that's why I asked. I don't know what he's doing in his lab. That's why I put it there. But he's messing with something. I didn't. That was an actual question. I didn't know. I know I'm going through the Bleacher Report. So actually, find in page Danhausen. Let me type this in real quick. It would be dope if he was like, let's see. Oh, Danhausen performed another experiment backstage, but it's unclear what his goal with it is. Okay, yeah. So I did find it. It's under Damian Priest and Tama Tonga.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, need to see. But
that was a mid match too. I didn't put that in there, but yeah, Priest getting the win over Tama Tonga in a singles match.
Yeah, originally supposed to be scheduled as a tag team match with Tama Tonga, but R-Truth was not medically clear.
Yeah.
But we did see R-Truth backstage, and he was also trying to convince Royce Keys to join the New Judgment Day. I don't know.
Yeah, New Judgment Day.
I don't know if that's serious or not. It's just R-Truth being like, a goofy character.
Yeah.
But
and
people are fighting for Royce Keys, services.
I like that specifically because that does give him that is a storyline. But because of him just getting there, but both of the groups recruiting him, Judgment Day 2.0, and MFT, both make sense. Like in recruiting him, with Solo just being one of the best characters on SmackDown, like top of weekly television. Like, we can run this place, so expressive. And his character, I love it. And, we know that Damian Priest is from the streets also. So that's all you need is the street aspect, like we grew up,
It's funny. I definitely do think, like, while he has these 2 opportunities, I think it should be the best way for him is just to remain solo dolo.
Yeah.
And just being like, nah, like, I'm basically the Black Goldberg here. Where I guess Braun Breaker would be Goldberg, but you guys saying like just like the
dominant force
that I go undefeated. I can see him going for an undefeated streak.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's a good.
I can see him winning the championship undefeated.
Well, now he can't because he just lost. Ain't no undefeated streak now.
Sorry, but yeah,
that would have been a spot for him, but
or maybe not undefeated, but now. You start new, and he's like, "Nah, losing to Gunther, nah, I'm not losing ever again." And then he ends up just going on like
a tear,
a longest winning streak, ever.
You're like, Royce Keys hasn't lost in like a year.
Yeah, just dominating people. That's SmackDown. That's NXT. That is the week of wrestling. Do we have any champions? I don't have any.
No, we don't.
We'll make it up next week, especially because we got 2. I guess. We'll see if we can make it up next week because we got a lot to get through next week. But that is episode 97 of the Wrestling Maria podcast. Moody, where can they find us?
Find us here on this YouTube channel. like, comment, subscribe, and find us on our socials at The Wrestling Re-Up. But we will join you next week on episode 98 of the Rest of the Re-Up podcast.
Deuces.